Thank you for joining me for lesson 110 of Sefer Mitzvah's daily study. I'm recording this really fast because I tried doing it a couple times earlier in the day, and it just did not work out. So hopefully today right now we have a slightly better stream. We're still talking about positive mitzvah number 94. Which is the mitzvah to fulfill verbal obligations that we place on ourselves through vows. And this, again, comes from Deuteronomy 23, verse 24, which says, "That which issues from your lips you shall keep and perform." So a vow is something that we place upon ourselves to do something or to not do something, and an oath is something that is kind of more put upon us in a certain circumstance, like for instance in a court, or somebody forces you to swear an oath, that kind of a thing. Whereas a vow is something that we put on ourselves. When we take upon ourselves vows flippantly at a whim, then we're bound to those vows, what came out of our mouth. And if if we've put vows on ourselves that turns out that we're not able to fulfill for whatever reason, then we do have the option of going to three rabbis or three Jewish men who are knowledgeable in the topic of releasing from vows, and then they will find a reason why the vow was not valid in the first place, because chances are, if you made a rash vow, you weren't really thinking things through, and there was probably a reason why that vow is not permitted. Earlier today in the stream that is not able to be watched, it just says something went wrong for about 7 minutes. Anyway, so in that stream, I just came up with a random case where that might be the case. So let's say you made a vow, and that vow was, "I will never eat turkey on Thursdays," and then you didn't realize it, but down the road is coming Thanksgiving, and you're like, "Oh my goodness, what am I going to do? I would have never made that vow had I realized that Thanksgiving falls on a Thursday." And so you would come before and this is just a stupid example, but you would come before the rabbis, and they would say, "Well, if you had known that Thanksgiving fell on a Thursday, would you have said that I'll never eat turkey on a Thursday?" And you'll say, "No, of course not. I would have never said that." And so then they say, "Well, then your vow is released." And they say your vow is released, and there's a certain formula, and at that point you are no longer regarded as being under a vow. So this is something that's important, because, for instance, we mentioned that there was a case that's mentioned in the Gospels that says that someone who owed money for their parents, or to take care of their parents in their old age, that they say that what was going to go toward my parents is korban, so it's going toward the temple. So obviously something like that should not be done, as that is negating a mitzvah. We have a mitzvah to care for our parents, and so that person could go before the rabbis, and if they were able to find a way out of it, that would be what would release them to go back to fulfilling the mitzvah. So there is actually the ability to override a mitzvah through a vow, whereas with an oath, you are unable to do so. Well, we'll be back tomorrow with God's help for talking more about the negative a negative mitzvah regarding vows. So we'll get more into that tomorrow with God's help. All right. Thank you so much for joining me today. Have a great day in every way.